Hey guys, what's up? This is Vinnie Stevens here, and welcome to another video for my channel. Welcome to a brand new series of vinyl reviews. So, if you haven't seen my first series of vinyl reviews, go back and check it out. This is now going to be running from now mid-April to the end of June. I'm going to be reviewing some great vinyl, but in this video, to kick it all off, I'm going to be reviewing Bad Outta Hell by Meatloaf. So, enough of me talking, let's get into this video. So, who is Meatloaf? So, Michael Lee Aldi, I think that's how you say his name, also known by his stage name as Meatloaf, is an American musician and songwriter. I was born in Dallas, Texas, USA on September 27th, 1947. His current age as of April 2018, when this video was made, he is currently aged 70. He has been active from 1968, so 50 years now to the present day. But as of this year, he's had plans to retire from music altogether, and he has been retired from touring since 2013. He's best known for his trilogy albums, the Bad Out of Hell series, including Bad Out of Hell, which we're reviewing in this video, Bad Out of Hell 2, and Bad Out of Hell 3, The Monster is Loose. This whole trilogy together has sold about more than 50 million copies worldwide. Meatloaf has sold about 80 million records outside his Bad Out of Hell series, and is one of the best selling artists of all time. So now on to a bit of a background of this album. So the background of this album, so Bad Out of Hell is the second studio album and was a major debut album for Meatloaf, as well as being his first collaboration with composer Jim Starman and producer Todd Rundgren. So the album was recorded in 1975 to 1976 at various recording studios, and this album consists of genres of like hard rock, glam rock, pop, progressive rock, and heavy metal. And as I said before, it is one of the best selling albums of all time. And this album has sold about over 43 million worldwide, and its musical style is influenced by Starman's apparition of Richard Wagner, Phil Spector, Bruce Springsteen, and the band The Who. Bad Out of Hell has been certified 14 times platinum by the RIAA, or the Recording Industry Association of America. As of May 2015, spent 485 weeks in the UK charts. The album went on to become one of the most influential and iconic albums of all time, and its songs have remained a classic rock sample. So now on to pre-production of this album. So the pre-production of this album, so the album was developed from a musical called Neverland. Basically, Jim Starman wanted to create a futuristic rock version of Peter Pan, which he had written for a workshop in 1974 and was later performed in the Kennedy Center Music Theatre Lab in 1977. Jim Starman and Meatloaf, who were touring with the National Lampoon show, felt that three songs were exceptional, and they began the development as part of a 7 song set they wanted to record as an album. The three songs were Body of Hell, Heaven Can Wait, and the formation of the pack, which later was retitled as All Revved Up with No Place to Go. But Body of Hell is often compared to the music of Bruce Springsteen, particularly his breakthrough album Born to Run. The band spent most of 1975 writing and recording material and 2.5 years auditioning the record and being rejected. They performed the album live in 1976 with Sturman on piano, Meatloaf on vocals, and sometimes Ellen is that Fleury joining them for the song Paradise. So now on to production. So production of this album. So recording started in late 1975 in Bearsville Studio, Woodstock, New York. Two guys called Roy Baden and Max Weinberg, who were the pianist and drummer from Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, played on this album, in addition to members from Burden's group Utopia. Three guys, Casman Sultan, Roger Parrell, and John Willie Wilscock played on the album, as well as a guy called Agar Winter played the saxophone on the song All Revved Up. Rudgreen himself played the guitar, including the motorcycle solo on the title track Bat Out of Hell. Both Sturman and Rudgreen were influenced by Phil Spector and his wall of sound. Other E Street Band members were involved with the album. Steve Von Vans I can't say it, Von Zandt, can't say his name. A guy called Sternberg, don't know his first name, arranged to contact Cleveland International Records, which at the time was a subsidiary of Epic Records. After listening to the words intro to You Took the Words Out of My Mouth, brackets, Hot Summer's Night, the founder Steve Pofick accepted the album for Cleveland. Rudgreen mixed the record in one night, however the mixes were not suitable to the extent that Meatloaf did not want Paradise on the album. A guy called Jimmy Irvine, who mixed Springsteen's Born the Run album, remixed some of the tracks after several attempts by several people. A guy called John Stanson mixed the version of Paradise that is on the actual album. Phil Razado also played in the album on the song Paradise by Dashboard Light, which had been recorded in 1976 at the Hit Factory in New York City with Rudgreen, Meatloaf, and Sturdom themselves. Now on to composition. So composition. So Todd Rudgreen acknowledged that Jim Sturman was highly influenced by the rural, suburban teenage angst of Bruce Springsteen. So since about 1968, Jim Sturman has been working on this kind of Magnus Opus, which actually finally opened in 2017 in the form of Bat Out of Hell, the musical. The first incarnation of his work was a musical called The Dream Engine, which he wrote in college at Elmhurst. basically behind behind that musical was the qualities of a teenage rebellion and a girl joining a tribe led by a charismatic leader, which has been present in all versions of Sturman's work, including Bad Out of Hell. Uh, the Dream Engine is where the spoken word piece Hot Summer Night comes from, and it is his earliest work which appeared on the Meatloaf album, where it is performed by Jim Sturman and actress Marcia McLean. I think that's how you say her name. So the next incarnation of Sturman's magnum opus was during the 1970s in the musical called Neverland, which contained many of the same themes as what his previous musical, The Dream Engine, had, but was now like largely depoliticalized and featured many references from Peter Pan. This musical contained the songs Heaven Can't Wait, Bad Out of Hell, and All Revved Up with No Place to Go. When it was staged in 1977, Neverland featured Ellen Flory as Wendy, the female vocal you can hear on Paradise by the Dashboard Light. The opening track, Bad Out of Hell, is the result of Sturman's desire to write the most extreme crash song of all time. It features a boy who is riding so fast and is accelerate. Yeah, I can't say that. That is unable to see an obstruction until it's way too late. So the song "You Took the Words Out of My Mouth" is musically inspired by the rock chords of the song "Baba O'Reilly" by The Who, with kind of a Phil Spector style melody on top. In Jim Sturman's Neverland and Bad Out of Hell musical, the spoken word Hot Summer Night, and this song is used in exchange of wedding vows and wedding. Didn't know that. The song two out of three in Bad was written in direct response to an actress called Mima Kennedy asking Jim Sturman whether he could write a simple song like "I Want You, I Need You, and I Love You" by Elvis Presley. Todd Rod Green identifies how the song was influenced by the Eagles, who were pretty successful at the time when this album was getting made. Um, Ellen Flory, who features on the song Paradise by the Dashboard Light, first met Meatloaf and Jim Sturman while they were working together on the National Lampoon Road Tour. The song, for crying out loud, was actually originally written for a one-off Broadway musical, Kid Champion, and the recording by an unknown artist is in the New York Public Library archives. So I'm now going to move on to the cover. So the cover, if I just grab it here. So Sturman is credited with the album cover concept, which was illustrated by a guy called Richard Corbin. The cover depicts a motorcycle ridden by a long-haired man bursting out of the ground in a graveyard. In the background, there's large patches atop of a mausoleum, if that's how you say it, that towers above the rest of the tombstones. Also, you've got at the top Meatloaf's logo. The E, apparently, I don't know why, the E on the album I've got is blue. Someone apparently has coloured that in with a pen, but that used to be white along with the other colours in the title. Then you've got like Bad Out of Hell written in caps, and then at the bottom it says songs by Jim Sturman. I'll get to that bit. And then in the background you've got a picture of Meatloaf. Looks like he's letting go of a red ribbon. I believe this is Jim Sturman hugging some woman who I don't know who it is. And then in the top left corner is all the songs, and then just at the bottom is legal stuff. But anyway, Sturman had written Equal Billing with Meatloaf on the album's title. He wanted it to be called Jim Sturman Presents or Jim and Me or vice versa. For marketing reasons, the record company wished to make Meatloaf the recognizable name. As a compromise, the word "songs" by Jim Sturman, which is at the bottom of the cover, appeared reverently prominently on the cover. The singer believes that it was probably the beginning of an ambivalent relationship. So now on to title. So title of this album. So the phrase "battery hell" can be traced back to a Greek playwright called Astroniophanius, if that's how you say it, from 414 BC, which later work titled The Birds. Jim Sturman actually registered a Battery to Hell as a trademark in 1995 and sought to prevent Meatloaf from using the title. In 2006, however, the singer sought to cancel Sturman's trademark and he used it on the third installment of the Battery of Hell series, Battery of Hell 3, The Monster is Loose. So now on to Reputation. So, Reputation of this album. So, Battery of Hell was released by Cleveland International in September 1977. Cleveland International's parent label was Epic Records, where immediately after it was released, almost everyone hated it. Response to this album was slow. Sturman actually had said that it was underpromoted, having a reputation of being damaged goods because it had been worked around so many like record companies. Due to its enthusiastic response to the music videos from the record, first two countries, Australia and England, I don't think not so much the UK, were like first to develop interest. Meanwhile, North America, according to Billboard magazine at the time, the founder of Cleveland Records, Steve Povich, and his partners began promoting this album aggressively. First getting radio play in Omaha, Nebraska, Cleveland, and New York. By year's end, the album had sold representable 140,000 copies, according to Provich's account. But the promotion people at Epic were still unmoved. On the Canadian charts, the album reached number 5 for 2 weeks after 27 weeks on the chart, having been number 6 for 7 weeks. And on to track listing. So track listings. So all these tracks were written by Jim Sturman. So on side one of the album, you've got the opening track, which is "Bad Out of Hell." Uh, Second track was "You Took the Words Right Out of My Mouth," "Hot Summer's Night." Both of them were released as singles as well. "Heaven Can Wait" or "Revved Up with No Place to Go." On side two, you've got "Too Free and Bad" and "Paradise" by the Dashboard Light, which was a duet with Ellen Fleury. This also contained like a melody of songs, so you've got "Paradise," "Let Me Sleep on It," and "Praying for the End of Time." Also, 203 in Bad, and that song was released as singles as well. and the last song on the album was For Crying Out Loud. Now on to charts. So charts. So these are the ones from 1977 to 78. On the Australian albums Count Music Report, it went to number one. In Canada's top albums slash CDs RPM, it went to number five. Dutch albums, mega charts, went number one. German albums, my French isn't really good. The Officially Top 100, I think that's official in English, went to number 11. New Zealand, the New Zealand albums chart, RMNZ, it went to number one. The Swedish album, um, I'm not very good at Swedish. The Zangvogtom Listen, I have no idea how to say that. It went number 13. On the UK albums chart, OCC, it went number 9. And the US Billboard 200, it went to number 14. That's actually all their peaked positions. Now on to certification. So the certification, in Australia's ARIA, it went 25 times platinum. Um, it sold something like 1,750,000. Canada went two times diamond, selling 2 million records. That was by Music Canada. Denmark, the IFPI, it went two times platinum, selling 40,000 records. Germany's the BVMI, it went platinum, selling 500,000 copies. New Zealand, it went 17 times platinum, sold about 255,000. United Kingdom, it went BPI, it went 10 times platinum, selling over 3,282,300. And in the United States, RIAA, it went 14 times platinum and sold about 14 million. All in all, worldwide, the album sold about 43 million, which is probably one of the best selling albums of all time, as I said. Anyway, on to my review of the album. So, my review on this album, I would rate this album a 10 out of 10 for a couple of reasons. One, this album has become one of my all-time favorite albums. Number two, ever since I got a vinyl player, people has said to me that I had to get this album to be in my collection. Number three, I was never a fan of Meatloaf until I heard this album. I had heard of Meatloaf before. Number four, I had no intention of buying this album. And at number five, when I first heard this album playing on my vinyl, it just hit me hard and blew me away. Like, I never had it off. Just the sound of it was nothing like I ever heard before. Before I got this album, I only ever heard one Meatloaf song, and it was off this album. It was "You Took the Words Out of My Mouth," but it didn't have the Hard Summer Night intro to it. Like, this was like before I ever started to get into bands and into the music that I love. How I got this album, it was in August last year. I was home for a couple of weeks, going away again on a holiday. So me and a mate of mine went to a shop called Tunes. So this is where I brought previous LPs from. LPs I'm going to show in this series as well. I was going kind of through the cheap stock stuff that's outside the shop. Was going through it. One of the pulled this one out, Um, my mate was telling me I should buy it. And I think something hit me, and I brought it. It was actually one of my cheapest album vinyls I've got. To 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 the end, I was about £3 or £4, which is one of my cheapest in my collection. Like, it's not reconditioned, but still plays like really well. Like, it's like a new record almost. The cover is a bit wrecked, and I said I never had this off when I first got it. A couple of months later, a local supermarket near me. Now, to date, when this video was recorded and released, I've never bought an album there, but they started doing like a new like LP version of this album, but the price of a new vinyl was the price of a new vinyl, and I kind of got lucky that I got original one for this album this album, I mean, and at the price I got it. Because usually, I think if it was reconditioned, they'd probably have gone for more. Um, when I was doing a bit of research into this video, I found the research interesting. There was a lot about this album I didn't know. Uh, this has got me more into concept albums. I think the first album I ever got into, which I have reviewed, was Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. And before, it wasn't really my taste in music, and I thought it was a bit too musical for my taste. But I've actually grown to love this album so much, and it actually has been a wee bit of an inspiration on me with writing music. So yeah, so I'm gonna wrap this video up here. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more videos. More videos will be coming on the way very soon. The next final review will be coming very soon. I'm just finishing up the final bits of that of the script for it. I hope you have enjoyed this first episode of a new series of vinyl reviews. If you haven't seen my last series, go back out and check that out. So my next album is going to be a Queen album. Now, I have done 2 Queen review albums before, but it's not going to be this one. I'll not say what it is. It's the only hint I'm going to give away. It's a 70s Queen album. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess see ya.